Hello guys, good morning. Am I audible? Can you confirm in the chat box? Okay, fine. So yesterday what we have completed. So we just started, right? How to create an EC2 instance. In that I think I have covered only two steps. First steps, name and tag, and the second one, AMI, Amazon and machine image. Only these two steps I have done in the previous session. So if you ask me what is name and tag, it's a simple name that we are providing in order to differentiate, in order to represent your EC2 instance, the virtual machine that you are creating. The second one, AMI, so which is an operating system and the pre-installed software. Because if you go with the AWS cloud, there are different flavors are there, different operating systems are available. Along with the operating system, you can find some pre-installed packages as well. But what is the operating system and what package that you require? That I need to select. For that, you have to go for Amazon machine image. So I will open aws.amazon.com and sign into the console. And I have to give the credential. Yes, I can able to log into this AWS console. Guys, this is called as a management console. AWS management console. So if someone is telling like management console, yeah, this is the management console. It is the web interface where you can able to opt different services. It is the web interface where you can get the servers, where you can get the different services from the AWS cloud. That's nothing but a management console. Now, I need to create one service or server which is nothing but EC2, Elastic Cloud Computing, and click on this. And I will launch an instance. So this is the first step, guys. When you create your EC2 instance, this is the first step, name and tag. You can give any name. Suppose I can give, right, this is Linux server. Anything you want, you can give it. You cannot record, man. Malika Junia, you cannot record. I am the worst, only I can able to record.
Okay.
Okay.
I need recording class, so that's why I asked.
Name and tag. Suppose if I want to add some additional tag, you can able to add it. So I need to add like owner. Yeah, I can add. Owner is nothing but maybe Dinesh. Suppose if I want to add another tag, yeah, we can add as well. Suppose I want to add date. So date is 23. Like that, number of tags that you can add in order to represent your instance. Guys, in AWS, EC2 is one instance. EC2 is one virtual machine. EC2 is a virtual server. All are same, guys. Sometime I can call it as a server or a machine or a instance. All are same. All are represent EC2. come below. Then you have to go with the Amazon machine image, AMI. See, an AMI is a template that contains the software configuration. It means that operating system, application server, and the application required to launch your instance. Did you remember yesterday I said, whenever if you create any instance or whenever if you buy any machine, you have to focus on two things. One is the hardware part and the another one is software part. Whenever you buy any machine, you will focus on hardware part and the another one is software part. Software, it is nothing but operating system and what kind of application server they have used and what kind of application it is already been installed. That's nothing but an Amazon machine image. This is the software part. So let me go with a normal one, Amazon Linux. It is the free tier eligible. I will go with the Amazon Linux server. Amazon Linux, and it's a kernel server and 64-bit architecture. I can go with. This is the second one, which is that AMI, Amazon machine image. Okay. Now, you know, we have already selected the AMI software part. Software part is nothing but where you need to focus on operating system along with the application server, along with the what application you should need. Then what is the third part? The third step, you have to select the hardware with the help of instance type. Instance type is the step through that you can be able to select hardware part. Through that you can be able to select hardware. What hardware configuration that you require? What is the requirement of your hardware? Do you need a 4 GB machine or 8 GB machine? Whether do you need a 2 CPU core or 4 CPU core? Like that, you have to give them hardware and the software part base. Right? So we'll go for hardware part through the instance type. Can you click on this compare instance type? Now, there are number of instance types are available. Can you see here? A T2 micro. Here we have a 1 virtual CPU core and they have a 1 GB memory. If you go with a T2 dot small, it will give you 1 CPU core and 2 GB memory. T2 medium, 2 CPU core and 4 GB memory. And the maximum of you will get around 6,144 GB memory. Suppose I will go with the largest CPU core, which is 448 CPU core. Like that, we have a different. You have to always, guys, whenever you get an instance type, only two important parameters you can look. One is the virtual CPU core and another one is memory. Virtual CPU core and then the memory you need to remember. One minute. Quickly can create 1 second. It's my Linux server and AMI is done. If I go with the instance type, there are many instance type. See, now the question is how to select the instance type. How to select the instance type. How to select the instance type. For that, you first of all know your workload. You must know the workload. Whenever you work with any company, you will work with some application, right? Definitely, you must know the workload. If you know the workload, this workload, you need to map it with the family. That family is nothing but not your family or my family. It's an instance family. It is an instance family. When you know your workload, you have to go for instance family. Through that only you can able to get to know that what kind of instance type you have to select. See, if you go with the AWS, there are different instance families are there. What are they? So we have a different instance family. So to understand this one, let me open instance types in your AWS. So go with the instance type. Can you see here? There are different instance types are available. What are they? We have a general purpose, a compute optimized, memory optimized, accelerated computing, storage optimized, HPC optimized. There are different instance families. What are they? General purpose. General purpose. And then memory optimized. Memory optimized. Then accelerated computing. Accelerated computing. Next, storage optimized. Storage optimized. Then HPC optimized. HPC optimized. And compute optimized. Compute optimized. So we have a different instance type guys. General purpose, memory optimized, storage optimized, accelerated computing, and HPC optimized, and the compute optimized. These are all the different instance types are available in your AWS. Now the question is, which instance type I need to go for? And remember, within the instance type itself, again we have a different classification. If you go with the general purpose, here you can see, right, different instances like M7G, M type we have, and A type we have, also T type we have. And if you click on the compute optimist, all the C types, C7G, C7GN, C6I, like that we can see the compute optimist. And if I talk about the memory optimist, again R, X, this and all comes under the memory optimist. Okay. Now, when we should go for general purpose instance? Again, remember how to select this family based on the workload. But if you ask me, general purpose instance, when I should go for? These instances, whenever if you are selecting, it means that suppose where you have a balance of compute. Where you have computation. Suppose if you are doing the multiple calculation on particular application, also you need a balanced memory. You need a balanced memory. And also you need a balanced network. You need a balanced network. Then in that case, you can go for general purpose. Where you need to go for general purpose? உங்களுக்கு எல்லாமே நார்மலா வேணும்னு நினைச்சீங்கன்னா, you need a balance of compute, you need a balance of memory, and you need a balance of network. In that case, it is better, and also cost also. You need a balance of cost, the cost effective. So in that case, you can go for a general purpose. So that instances is specifically designed for a balance of compute and memory and network issues. and are suitable for a wide range of workload, right? Then you can go for the general purpose. When I should go for memory optimized, when I should go for memory optimized. Suppose you are working with them like a memory databases. Suppose if you are working with the databases, like you are working with some big data. You are working with some big data, and where you need where you are doing like high performance computing, where you need high performance computing. So in that cases and all, it is better to go for memory optimized. Wherever you are focusing on memory, if you go with the database where you should have the intensive workload, right? Memory intensive workloads. And you have to apply the large scale in memory database. And you have to do the real-time processing of a big data and high performance computing. Wherever you are focusing on memory, huge memory, large volume memory, then in that case, you need to go for a memory optimized. Memory optimized. So suppose where I should go for accelerated computing. In which situation, in what situation, I need to go for accelerated computing. So accelerated computing, wherever you need an initial power. So suppose if we go with the graphical processing unit, or suppose if you go with some kind of vehicle, there and all we need the massive power, right, in the initial itself. Then it is better to go for accelerated computer. Guys, you no need to worry about the definition when you learn the general purpose or compute optimized. Only you must know the use case. What you should know? You should know only a use case. Can you see here use case they have given? For the general purpose, they have given the use case. What is the use case they have given? Application. Application built on open source software such as application servers like microservices, gaming server, mid-sized data stores, and caching queues. Like that, they have given the use cases. If you learn here, if you see here, you can get to know them. What is general purpose? Where you need the balance of compute and the memory and the network. In that case, you have to go for general purpose. General purpose. When you need to go for compute optimized, compute, wherever you are focusing on calculation, where basically we will focus on calculation. In data science, in a scientific model, can you see? In the scientific model, in case of video encoding, video gaming, any high performance computing, you are processing a large batch file. And if you go with the central processing unit CPU, in that case and all, you will focus on calculation. In data analytics, you will focus on calculation. When you play a game, you will focus on calculation. Wherever you are doing a multiple calculation, the competition power you need more. That should be optimized. Then you have to go for compute optimized. So this is the use case, guys. This is the use case. If you go with the compute optimized in data science, it means the data analyst or science, where you need more calculation. When you work with some video gaming or encoding, that time we need to do the more calculation. Suppose if you work with some CPU processing, then we need a more calculation. That time we can go for compute optimized. And what is memory optimized? I told you, right? In big database, If you see the use case, see, wherever you need a database, wherever you are working with some big data, then you can go for this one, a memory optimist. Memory optimist. Database, big data, wherever you are focusing on high performance computing. And what is accelerated computing? Where we should go for, in what situation we have to select. See, here, can you see autonomous vehicle? Vehicle, initially itself, you have to give them more acceleration. Suppose if you are working with computational fluid dynamics, or if you are working with some machine learning and seismic analysis or speech recognition in medical field, that time and all, you need to go for some drug discovery system. In that case and all, you need to go for accelerated computing. And when we should go for storage optimized, wherever you are focusing on storage part, where basically we will focus on storage. In big data, see, they have given the databases, relational databases, MySQL, Postgres, MariaDB, and also we have a Cassandra, Hadoop, Mongo. So these are the different databases. So wherever you want a database, the huge storage databases, then you need to go for a storage optimized. It might be a relational database, or maybe a NoSQL database, whatever it might be. NoSQL DB. And this is the special case, HPC, high performance compute optimized, right? High performance computing optimized. So for that, you have to pay a lot of money in AWS. Whenever you are focusing on high performance, very, very high performance computing workload, very, very high performance computing workload, like this kind of places, you need to go for this high performance computing. Actually, earlier, this feature is not available in AWS. Recently, a 2 month back, they have added this feature. This no one will ask you at the time of interview, can you tell me what is general purpose? No. They will ask you what are the different instance types are available. You have to tell general purpose, memory optimized, storage optimized, accelerated computing, compute optimized, HPC optimized. And immediately they will ask you, can you tell me one or two use cases for those instances? That time you have to tell, whenever if you go with the balance of compute, balance of memory, a balance of network, then I will go with the general purpose. If I need, if I am focusing only on computation, a calculation, I can go for compute optimist. If I focus on memory, then memory optimist. Then storage part, the storage optimist. And suppose I need, initial itself, I need an accelerated power. I need to focus on maybe some kind of specific analysis or speech recognition. Then I can go for accelerated computing, right? Then suppose if you need a high power computation and all, I can go for HPC optimist. Only you need to focus on the use case. Are you clear? Can you guys quickly confirm? Everyone clear with this? Guys, quickly confirm, guys, in the chat box. Are you there or not? Any question here? Prashant, I am talking about instance type. I'm not talking about the AMI. You guys can go for any AMI. You can able to create the community AMI or you can create the own AMI also. Yesterday I mentioned. All right, listen. But I need only a free tier, right? Let me type free tier eligible. Free tier eligible, I will type. So for this particular instance, only a T2 micro is the free tier eligible. Only free tier eligible is T2 micro. I cannot go with any other instance type. If you are wishing to or if you are okay to pay the money, you can go for other instance type. Let me go with the T2 micro. When you buy the T2 micro is the general purpose or other computing. Can you check? So I can type T2 micro. What is T2 micro? T2. See, T2 is the general purpose. T2 is the general purpose. Can you see here? T2 nano, T2 micro, T2 small, T2 medium, T2 large, T2 X large, T2 2X, 2X large. But what is the virtual CPU and memory that we are getting? We are getting what? If we go with the T2 micro, we are getting 1 CPU core and 1 gigabyte memory. Other services or other instance type we cannot use because it is not a free tier eligible. But if you work with IT company, you can go for. Okay, I can select the instance type. I have selected the T2 mic, which is free tier eligible. This is my third step. The third step, I have to select the instance type. Then what is the fourth step? What is the fourth step? The fourth step is you have to generate a key pair. You have to generate a key pair. So you have done the three steps. The first step, name and tag, and the second step, AMI, the third step in instance type. Then what is key pair? So key pair, it is one of the mechanism that's to authenticate your identity base. In order to authenticate, you are the valid user or not. In order to authenticate your identities. Identities. I think I'm looking. Okay. Identities. Basically, we are going for key pair. So when you generate a key pair, you can find one public key. You can find one public key and one private key. And a private key. But remember, this public key and private key are related to each other. Even though it is different, but it is related to each other, which is done by AWS. So if public key sees the private key, they can get to know that this is my private key. If private key do some kind of encryption and decryption, can get to know that, yeah, it is my public key. So public key and private key, it is dependent on each other. Suppose anyone, guys, can use the public key. Anyone can use the public key to encrypt a message, but only the holder of the corresponding private key can decrypt it. So suppose if you are the, suppose AWS holds the public key. AWS holds the public key, but in order to hold the private key, you have to go for some third-party software. In order to decrypt your third-party software, one of the software, which is nothing but PuTTY. PuTTY is one of the software which will hold the private key, private key. That only can able to decrypt. So always you have to remember the private key, you have to keep it as secret and is used to decrypt the data and sign in your any application. Now, no need to worry about this one. It is very simple only. This one. Suppose I can go for key pair. What is key pair? You can use a key pair to securely connect to your instance. Ensure that you have an access to selected key pair before you launch an instance. Let me create a new key pair. Click on create a new key pair. And it is asking I have to give the key pair name. I have to give a key pair name. Key pair name. Any key pair name you guys can give it. Any key pair name you guys can give it. Suppose I will use the key pair like a key pair hyphen. Today date is okay, better key pair 23rd 02 or February. That's it. I'm giving some name, key pair name, and come here and key pair type. I can go with the default RSA and the file format, whether I need the PEM format or PPK format, because both are different. PEM format and PPK format both are different. I will tell you one by one. So as of now, I will go with the PEM format here, and then I can click on create a key pair. Can you see here? One key pair got generated. Key pair 23rd February dot PEM. So now this is done. So you have a PEM file in your downloads folder. The next system. Key pair means just you are going to create one key pair. That's it. If you want to create another key pair, you can able to create. Number of key pair you can able to create. Now come below. Then network settings. Because this is the different service VPC. That time I can cover. Now you no need to talk about the VPC because VPC is another important topic that we need to cover. I'm not going to talk here. Later I will tell you. Virtual private cloud. Directly I can come for the firewall. What is mean by firewall? Step number 5. Firewall. It means security group. Security group is nothing but your firewall. Your firewall. See guys, suppose you have in the world there is a physical server, right? You know, there is a region, there is a availability zone. Somewhere in the world, you have a physical servers, right? Maybe consider like there is a availability zone. There is a availability zone. That somewhere in the world, definitely AWS kept there the physical server. They kept their physical server. Remember, if you want to access the server, in default in AWS, whatever the server that you are seeing, it is a Linux server. Whatever the servers that you are seeing, which is the Linux server in AWS. Now suppose if you want to access this Linux server, I want to access this particular Linux server. To access this Linux server, what do you need? Do you know? One of the way to access the Linux server, which is nothing but SSH client. SSH client. Security shell. We can call security shell. So one of the way to access your Linux server, which is security shell, SSH client. If we don't know SSH client, we cannot access your Linux machine. Now the question is, in default in AWS, if you access your Linux machine with the help of SSH client, it always deny, guys. In default, AWS will deny everything. Will deny everything. Guys, this is, you need to remember. In default, in a Linux machine, in a AWS machine, if you access any server, automatically you will get the denied. Why you are getting the denied? Because on top of this Linux server, they have protected their data with the help of a firewall. They have the firewall. Every instances, every services on top of your AWS cloud or AWS server, which has the firewall. The firewall is nothing but a security group. The firewall is nothing but a security group. So we cannot access directly through the SSH client to the Linux server because there is a firewall. It will deny your request. Now the question is, how can I access this Linux machine? Because of firewall, we cannot access, right? We couldn't access. How can I access? For that, what you should do? You should allow the traffic. This. Can you see here? Allow SSH traffic inside your AWS. Inside your AWS, you are allowing SSH traffic, and you are selecting over the network, over the internet. Anyone can able to access. Suppose if I select my IP address, only I can able to access. But if I select this one, anyone can able to access. Is that right? So remember, so you have to allow the SSH traffic because in default in AWS everything will be denied. So in order to access your Linux server, we need the SSH protocol. But if you need to have the SSH protocol, AWS will deny. For that reason, I am allowing. I am allowing. Are you clear with this? What is firewall? What is security group? Yes or no? You able to understand what is firewall? What is security group? Guys, I'm expecting your answer. Yes. So once you have given enough permission, you have given the SSH permission, right? You are allowing the SSH. You want to access your AWS server. The next step is you need to go for the storage part. Again, storage is also one big topic I cannot cover today, but let me just put it as a default 8 GB the memory that I need. Because if you work with your laptop also, you need the storage, right? The same way. When you buy the virtual server from AWS, somewhere it is hosted in the physical machine. Now I need the storage part. Let me make it as 8 GB. So if you are the free tier eligible, you can get up to 30 GB, up to 30 GB. I can go with the 8 GB now, 8 GB. That's it. I can, no need of advanced settings and all. Only I am going to review now. Summary part. Number of instances I need only one server, and I need the Linux 2 machine and the virtual server, which is T2 micro, and the SSH group I have allowed, and I'm expecting 8 GB machine. That's it, right? Good. Now click on launch instance. After completion of all the steps, you have to click on launch instance. Come below. Can you see the view all instances? Click on this. Now here you can able to see my name is Linux server. It is assigning some instance ID and instance state is pending now. Let me refresh. Can you see instance state is running now? My instance is running. And what is the instance type? Which is T2 micro. T2 micro. Like that, you can see the menu option. My instance state or instance server is running now. My virtual server is running now. My instance server is running now. Now, I have to start this server. As of now, it is only running. I need to start. I need to start this one. How can I start this server? That's the question. How can I start this server? See, you have to click on this. And then can you see connect button here? Can you see the connect button? This connect button you have to click. Click on connect. And now, if you want to connect your EC2 instance, how to connect? How to connect EC2 instance? How to connect EC2 instance? Remember, now to connect your EC2 instance, there are two ways. The first way, you can go with GUI itself. GUI means a graphical user interface. Graphical user interface. Where you can see a feature called Instance Connect. The feature name is Instance Connect. EC2 Instance Connect. EC2 Instance Connect. In the GUI itself, you can go for EC2 Instance Connect feature and you can able to connect your EC2 instance. This is one of the simplest way to connect your EC2 instance. Is there any other way? Yes, we have some other way also. What is that? The second way is you can go with programmatic way. Programmatic way. Here or maybe you can use some CLI. CLI means command line interface. Command line interface. Suppose if you are using the Mac machine, you can go for terminal. Terminal. Suppose if you are using the Windows machine, you can go for command prompt or PowerShell. Right? Now I'm using the Windows machine. I can either go for PowerShell or command prompt. So there are two ways in which you can able to connect your EC2 instance. One is directly on UI, directly on your UI. The second way is through the command line, interface. Now the first way we can go for. First way we can try. See, can you see EC2 instance connect here? EC2 instance connect. Come below. And this is the default username. It is getting generated and public IP address. It is my IP address of the machine and click on connect. That's it. Now, when you see this symbol, it means that your Linux server is up and ready. It is running now. Your Linux server, we have started. When you see like this, it means that your instance is running now. Instance is running now. Suppose if I select who am I, I'm typing it, who am I? Press enter, see, I am the EC2 hyphen user. Who am I? EC2 hyphen user. This is the one way, guys. This is the one way in order to connect your EC2 instance. The second way is with the help of command prompt or PowerShell. Let me tell you how to use the command prompt. Say I can open my command prompt. I can use the command prompt, right? Now, let me go here. Let me go here. And can you see something called SSH client? SSH client, click on this. And you have some command right here. Copy this command. What is this command all about? We are connecting with your Linux machine with the help of SSH protocol. Which protocol that you are following? SSH protocol. And here you are mentioning your key pair name. This is your key pair name, right? That we have given key pair 23 February.pem file. And along with that, it is my username. It is my username, right? EC2 hyphen user. It is my username at the rate of public IP address. public IP address of your machine ends with 54. Let me confirm. Go to your EC2 and go to your instances and click on this server. And this is the public IP address, right? 13.235.25.54. Can you see here? 13-235-23-54. Guys, see, this is you guys can do it. You can type SSH space -I. You have to give the key pair name. What is the key pair name? Key pair name, keypad 23 February.pem. Key pair 23 February.pem space, and you can give the username of your machine. The username is EC2-user @ and you have to give the public IP address. Let me copy this IP address and paste it over there. That's it. Now, when you press enter and it is asking like, do you want to continue connecting? Yes. Press enter. What happened? I am seeing an error. Permission denied. Why permission denied? I'm getting right. See, the key pair that I have downloaded, it is under the downloads folder. Can you see my downloads folder? And open this. Go to the downloads folder. Here I have a key pair. Where is that? Yes, here we have a key pair. But I'm doing everything on my this line, C user CD. So what I need to do? I need to go to the downloads folder. CD. CD means change directory. Which folder I need to go for? Downloads folder. Press enter. Now let me try with the same command. I can push it. Now press enter. Can you see I can able to connect my Linux machine? Yes or no? I can able to connect my Linux machine, right? This way we can able to connect with your EC2 machine. So in order to connect your EC2 machine, there are two ways. Directly you can go for instance connect feature, or otherwise you can go for programmatic way. How can I use? Here you have to use SSH space -I, and you have to give the key pair name. Key pair name. Key pair name. Key pair name. Space. And along with it, what you have to give? You have to give the username. Username of your EC2 @ public IP address. Public IP address. If you ask me, hey, while launching with the help of GUI, EC2 instance connect, that time it is not asking the key pair, right? But this time, why it is asking the key pair? Because now you are connecting with your server from the local machine. From the local machine means you have to give the key pair. But on the UI itself, you are asking to log in. That time you no need to give the key pair because you have logged into the particular EC2 server. That's the reason you can be able to access that particular server. Right? Are you clear, guys? Yes or no? So far, any doubt? Guys, quickly confirm. Sorry, there or not? Any question you can ask me now. Right. Better. See, guys, in order to stop your instance, you just click on the checkbox. If you don't want this one, you can delete it. Just you need to stop, you can go for stop. But if you want to terminate, you can go with the terminate. Suppose let me stop the instance. Suppose let me stop the instance. Let me stop the instance. And what I'm doing, and I can go here and I will try with the, see here, immediately I'm getting right connection to this one closed by a remote host. I am the remote host. Now, if I try to press enter, if I try to press, I'm not able to connect. See, I'm trying to connect to this particular instance. We'll see whether it is happening or not. I'm seeing an error. It's called connection timeout. Connection timeout because I have stopped the instance. It is stopped. That's the reason I'm not able to connect to that particular instance. Right? So, in order to connect to this instance, I have to first start. I have to start this particular instance. Then only I can able to connect this. Then only I can able to connect. Yes, it's running. Now let me try. Press enter. Why? What happened? So I will close this and open the new CMD and go to CD. I will go with the downloads folder, CD downloads / and then I will paste that command. What happened? Okay, no problem. SSH space -I. Whatever the keeper that I have given, 23 February. Keeper, I think I have given. Keeper 23 February. Dot pem file. And then EC2 -user @ a public IP address. What is my public IP address? This is the public IP address. And paste it and press enter. And give yes and press enter. Now I can able to connect, right? Now I can able to connect. Simple. Right. Now let me create one more instance. That way we'll get more idea. I can click on launch instance. I can give the name right here. Say this is Linux 2. Like that I'm giving some name. And come below. And I have to select the AMI. I will go with the same AMI. Amazon Linux. And I can go with the T2 micro. So if you want to create a new keeper, you can create it. Otherwise, you can go with the old keeper. Old keeper, which is already I've created, right? 23 February. I can go with same keeper itself. Or if you want, you can create the new keeper. I will go with the old keeper. And network settings. And I'm allowing the SSH traffic also. Fine. Come below and configure storage and all. Everything is done. Now, better I can go with the new keeper. Create a new keeper. Create a new keeper. This time I can give, right? This is 23 February. So it's a keeper, but it is already exist. I already used the prem file, right? But this time I can try with the PPK. I can use PPK. 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 And then click on create keeper. Now see, we have, okay, actually I made the mistake one second. Sorry, listen. Keeper 23rd February, PPK 1, like that I can give some name. See, here you have to change actually. Dot PPK, you have to change it. After that, create a keeper. Right. After doing this, let me come below. Apart from this, everything is same. Let me click on launch instance. Once you launch the instance, click on view all instance. Now, can you see another server got created? I can see another server, right? Linux 2. Linux 2. Maybe this is my Linux 1. And this one is a Linux 2. It is pending. Yes, it is running now. Now I try to connect this Linux 2. How can I connect? Just to click on this and go to connect and come below. Not this one. I will go with EC2 instance connect feature and click on connect. Yes, I can able to connect to this EC2 instance, right? Now I will try with a Windows machine. I will try with a command line. Go with SSH client. And let me open one more CMD. I'll open one more CMD. How can I connect? I need to go for a downloads folder. I can go with the downloads folder. And then I have to type like SSH space -i key pair name. What is the key pair name? 23rd February, which is key pair. And then ppk 1 dot, it's a ppk file, space, I have to use the username EC2 hyphen user @ let me check what is the username. What is the username? Yeah, EC2 hyphen user. And I have to use the public IP address of this machine. So go with this EC2 and instances. The second instance, this is the public IP address. This is the public IP. Let me paste it and press enter. It is asking, say yes. What happened? So warning, key pair 23 February, invalid format. Invalid format. But better listen. Now I will connect and go to the SSH client. And here I'm seeing, right? Where? Here. SSH space -i. This is, even though we are giving in the form of ppk, it is generating in the form of peb, right? Let me copy this and then paste it over there and press enter. Now press yes. See, still I'm seeing an error. Why? Why we are seeing an error? See, whenever if you go with the ppk, right? ppk. So there is no file called pem. There is no ppk. It is a ppk file. We cannot access the ppk file directly through this kind of SSH client. For that, you need to go for some third-party tool. Whenever you generate a ppk means putty private key. ppk means putty private key. You have to use some third-party software. So what I will go with now, I will take the one software which is putty. Putty is one software is available. Here we have a putty software, right? Let me go to my control panel. And is there any putty software? Then I think this putty, I will go with the file location. Okay. Actually, you have to download this putty, guys. This third-party software you have to download. Just to type putty download. It will land it to this particular URL. Please try to install this putty in your machine. Please try to install a putty in your machine. Once you install in your machine, it is very easy, guys. Just to double click, that's it. This is your putty software. You will get like this. You will get like this. So once you have a PPK file, you have to go like this. Now, inside the putty, you have an option called host name, right? Which IP address that that you guys want to connect. So here the host name. For that, let me know the IP address first. So this is the IP address. Copy this and give it here. Give it here. And click on open. And click on accept. Let me try. So login as. It is asking login as. What login as? I have to give my username, I think so. EC2-user. Okay, let me close this. Once again, open the putty. And here, you can find one option called SSH, right? Click on this SSH. Inside SSH, you have an auth option. That also you can click on. And here you have a credential, right? Click on that credential. So what you need to do, you need to supply the private key here. So click on browse. You have a private key, right? That you already generated, PPK file. Click on that and click on open. And click on open. Yes. Now see, I can able to connect right my Linux server. So whenever you have a PPK file, you have to download the putty in your local machine. Through that, you can able to connect. So for that, what you need to do? So you have to open the putty software. So let me close it 1 second and I tell you guys for 1 second. Remember, open the putty. Open the putty. After opening the putty, give the IP address here. Okay, where is the IP address? Let me copy the IP address of your EC2 machine. This is the IP address and you can give it here. Then you can click on this SSH and click on this auth and credential where you need to browse your PPK file. This is my PPK file, just to open it. That's it. Click on open. Now it will ask you the username. You can give the username. My username is EC2-user. Press enter. Now I can able to connect to EC2 machine. Now let me try with the PEM file. Will it work? We'll see whether it is working with the PEM file. Click on OK and open your putty software. Putty software. And then once again, I can pass the IP address. IP address. Okay. Then go to your SSH. Go to your auth, credential, browse this, and I can go with it even not showing the PEM file. It even not showing the PEM file. It will show only the PPK file. Suppose if you select all file, here you can find the PEM file. When you open this and click on open, it will ask you unable to use the key file. I can use only what? PPK format. Suppose if you type EC2-user, press enter. I'm seeing an error, right? Correct. You have to remember. If you have a PPK file, you can go for some third-party software. Because how it is happening? Suppose if you ask me how it is happening. See guys. See, this is your AWS. Inside the AWS, you have created the EC2 server, right? This is my EC2 server. If you want to connect your EC2 server, what basically we require? We require the SSH client. We require the SSH client. Inside the SSH client, what you will pass? What you will pass? You will pass the key pair along with the public IP address. If you know, you can able to connect. But this key pair is .pem format. But suppose if you want to connect your EC2 server, there is another way. Another way means using the PuTTY software. PuTTY software. It is my local machine, local laptop. In downloads folder, already I have a PPK file, right? You have a PPK file. This PPK file has the public key and private key. But your AWS already have the public key of your machine. Public key of your machine. Now what you are doing? You are uploading your private key to the PuTTY software. To the PuTTY software now to connect to your EC2 instance. What the PuTTY will do? It will see whether this private key, it will give it to AWS. AWS will validate whether is it my private key or not. It will map the public key with the private key and it will check. If it is both are matching, when I say matching, not data, it will do some kind of encryption and decryption. After that, it will allow to connect. So PuTTY knows private key. PuTTY knows private key. AWS knows public key. This is called key pair, public and private key. So this is the another way to connect your EC2 instance. So now you know three ways. One way is directly you can use the EC2 instance connect feature. The second one is you can use a feature called, what is the feature name? Feature name is command line interface. You can go for, or otherwise you can go for PuTTY also. If you have a .ppk file, you can go for PuTTY software. PuTTY software. Through that you can able to connect your EC2 instance. Any questions so far? Can we connect directly through CMD or PuTTY? Directly means what? What do you mean by directly? Irfan, what do you mean by directly? Directly means what? We use the CMD and PuTTY to connect to EC2 instance. What is meant by directly? Others, any question? Guys, first, Irfan, can you tell me? Can you rephrase this sentence and or otherwise you can tell me clearly what is meant by directly? Others, any other question? Dinesh Kumar Party, Jaya. Others, any question? How to connect your EC2 instance? Now suppose, okay. Okay. Now when you see the EC2, there are two instances are running, right? Let me delete this instance. I don't want this instance. Go to instance state and terminate. Stop means only just the inactive. But if you are terminating, it will be removed from your console. You are shutting down your machine. I'm terminating. Terminate means deleted. It got deleted. Now, let me create one new instance. And this time, I will go with the Windows machine. I will go with Windows machine. I can create a Windows server and come below and AMI. This time, Linux, no, Windows. I can select the Windows server. I have selected the Windows server. It is a free trial eligible, no issues. And come below. And the instance type, a T2 micro. And I will check the key pair also. Let me use the existing key pair, say 23rd February key pair. 23rd? No, 23rd. Yes, this. I selected the keeper. Network settings, I need to go for firewall. Can you see here? Not a allow SSH, it's an allow RDP. Guys, remember, this is the important step. Whenever if you are accessing the Linux server, which protocol you will go for? SSH protocol you have to allow. SSH protocol you have to allow. But if you are dealing with the Windows machine, what is the protocol name? The protocol name is RDP. RDP means remote desktop protocol. Remote desktop protocol. It is secure shell. Secure shell. Secure shell. So whenever if you go with the Windows machine, which protocol you have to allow? Remote desktop protocol that you need to allow, guys. It is an interview question, remember. 1 minute. Fine. You have to allow the remote desktop protocol. Okay. Now go here and I'm allowing the RDP traffic over the internet. Over the internet. Anyone can able to access. Come below. And I will go with the storage part and number of server. That's it. That's it. Everything is same. Click on launch instance. Click on launch instance. Now view all instances. I can see only one instance, right? Other two instances got terminated. It got terminated. Only I can see Windows Server. Always Windows Server, it will take some time when compared to Linux Server. Let me refresh. It will take some time. Let's wait. Yeah, it is running now. And I'm going to connect this Windows Server. Click on this and click on connect. And when you connect, you can go for RDP client, remote desktop client. This is your instance ID for Windows machine. Connect using RDP client. Guys, make sure you have to download this desktop file in your machine. If you don't have already, you have to download. Let me download Windows Server .rdp file. You have to download and open this. Open this and try to connect. Click on connect. It is asking me the password. Where is the password? The password is here. Can you see your password? Password is here. In order to get the password, you have to click on the get password. Click on the get password. But what it is asking, if you want to know the password, you have to upload your private key file. It is asking, can you upload your private key file? Then only I can give the password. Okay, no problem. I can upload my private key file. Already I have, right? I can go for downloads. This is my private key file and I can open this. And this is how your private key file looks like. I am going to decrypt my password. Click on this. Now I can see the password, right? Can you see? The password got generated. And let me copy this password and go to your machine and paste it over there. I have pasted and click on OK and click on yes. Now we'll see after a couple of seconds. Wait for a while. It is trying to connect my Windows machine. Fine. Now can you see here? I got the Windows machine now. I got the Windows server. On top of my laptop, I have created one more server, which is a Windows server through the AWS cloud, through the AWS EC2 instance. So great. I'm going to turn it. So this is how you have to connect your Windows machine. This is how you have to create your Windows machine. So any question till here? Can you confirm? Which virtual server is best for EC2 instance? Linux or Windows? Only Linux. Always Linux is best. Why? Because Linux is faster than Windows. And there are more security that got added in the Linux machine and compared to Windows machine. Fine. So, are you guys clear? Prashant, if you are using the Windows laptop or I am using the Windows laptop, then can I say is it a safe? Not like that, right? See, in AWS, the host itself, it is a Linux server. It is not a Windows machine. If we can able to buy the Windows server from AWS cloud, but what is the origin? It is a Linux server. The reason because Linux always provides more security when compared to your Windows machine. See, if you go with the Windows, we can go with the Windows. Whenever if you want to interact with the high dashboards, UI is great. But if you go with the Linux server, you can work your task within a fraction of second or fraction of minute with help of a terminal and all. So those feasibility is not available with respect to Linux machine. Everywhere, if they are deploying some application in some server, most of the time it's a Linux server. And not talking about the difference between an operating system. I'm talking about the flavors, different use cases, different security point, different the installation part, and what kind of time consumption is happening between the two machines. So that and all. Fine. Right. This today, you guys try to create one Linux server and one Windows server. Remember, this is your task, guys. Don't forget, please try to create one Windows server and Linux server. And when you create the Linux server, remember there are three ways. One is you need to go for instance connect feature to connect. Another one is you can go for which one? Which one, guys? You can go for command line interface, command prompt. Or otherwise, you can try with the putty. The Windows server add remote desktop protocol, right? Try to create one Linux server and one Windows server with a different base, guys. Check whether you can be able to create it or not. Today, please try that one. And if you are facing any problem, you can let me know. Because guys, syllabus is vast. Every day we'll take the session and I have to cover number of topics over there. If you are not practice, then whatever that I'm covering, again, it may be waste. Whatever that I'm covering. You have to do the hands-on. If you do the hands-on, then only you will get to know that. You will face some kind of problem that how to fix it. Again, you have to do some kind of issue. Again, we have to fix it. This is how you can able to learn. So if you see my presentation, like I'm not getting an error, it doesn't mean that's like you are also not getting an error. Not like that. No one will first attempt itself, they won't see the error. Right? So you have to make the mistake and you have to learn the things from that. Fine. So that's it today. So don't forget to practice. Please try to create a Linux machine and Windows machine today itself. Tomorrow we will go for some other topic. Thank you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.